I mean, when people look at me and they're like, dang, that guy is short. Like, what kind of beats did he make? I've had people tell me, like, I didn't expect you to make beats like that. I'm like, what kind of beats did you think I was going to make? Like a Fisher-Price toy, like, over there.
The One More Time Music Podcast. Genuine conversations with genuine people about music. Hosted by Henry with a 3 and Playback Ben.
Went from Beamer Coops to Pencils. Don't want this to end, so pop that one more time. Pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another episode of the One More Time podcast. I am excited about this one. I'm Playback Ben here with my co-host.
Henry with a 3, baby. How we doing?
We doing good, man. Henry, who do we have on the podcast today, my friend?
Welcoming in on episode number 34.
34.
Episode 34. You know him as the star of Family Matters, Steve Urkel.
Did I do that? Steve. No, in all seriousness, we are honored to have the legendary producer. I think you do some engineering still.
Voice actor,
content creator, swagged out from Sheen.
Shout out Sheen.
Mini producer.
Mini producer.
We appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
Great.
You guys had actually collabed on a beat, I think.
Yeah.
Never met, and Henry had recommended we get you on. Someone else that I knew had like shared one of your posts, so I was like, it's one of those things where if both he and I see someone that we want to have on, it's almost just it's a no-brainer. So
Gotta have it.
Yep. So yeah, we're gonna dive right in. So it was International Day of Persons with Disabilities. I think December 3rd.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
I-
So just wanted to start off with what disabilities do you have? Because I know you wanted to.
I have a grab bag out here. So I have osteogenesis imperfecta type 3, which is a very long name for no reason. You can just call it OI. But it's a brittle bone disorder, and I happen to be, tall as ever, you know what I mean? But I'm 3'4".
NBA player status.
Yeah, I know, I'm balling, I can't walk, so I utilize a power wheelchair to get around, and I also break easily, so I've broken over like 200 bones. I've had 20-something surgeries. It is what it is, when after you're like 20 of surgery, you're like, this is whatever. So, but...
Wow.
Yeah.
Surgery's nothing. He's a champ.
And then I have autism, and I'm hard of hearing. I utilize hearing aids, but I have to get them fixed, but I do utilize hearing aids on.
Which is interesting as a
basis.
producer.
Yeah, right? How does that work?
Yeah.
But those are...
But Mozart was hard of hearing, right?
Hey.
And
So...
There you go.
look where the fuck he got himself.
Yeah, exactly. So,
You're in good company.
Yeah. So what's been, obviously your attitude towards it now is, hey, comes with the territory, been there, done that. You have a very, I would say, open attitude towards it, and you don't have any sort of like hard feelings about it seems, but like has that always been the case, or like what's been your attitude towards your disabilities, like starting from the early ages, would you say?
Oh yeah, I mean I've been pretty easygoing, honestly, for my whole life about that kind of thing. I mean, because it is what it is. I don't have any control. I mean, I was born like this, Now, I recently got diagnosed with autism, and that really happened once I got into a relationship, because you don't realize the things that you kind of do when you're just you know what I mean? You're like, oh, that's just kind of what I do. That's how I am. And then I guess you realize, like, oh, that's probably not as normal as
I thought.
as I've normalized this, you know what I mean? Oh, and, shout out to my girlfriend. She's worked around people that have autism, and she was like, hey, have you ever gotten diagnosed? I was like, I never thought, I just thought I was like this. And come to find out, psychologist, you have autism. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes more sense about all the things that, have gone on my whole life. But, the autism diagnosis is really the hardest thing for me to kind of get used to, though, because, like, with this is, like, in your face. I mean, you can't walk. I mean, what are you going to do about that? But I think the autism thing as an adult is a lot harder, because, like, as a kid, they, provide a lot of services for you as a kid to, like, help you with certain things. And as an adult, I mean, it's just really hard to kind of navigate through that when you've kind of been that way your whole life.
So what's changed as a result of the diagnosis?
Just being more self-aware. I mean, and like understanding certain things and like why I do it, and how do people that are adults, like, how do they navigate through that? You know what I mean? But other than that, I think I've just had more self-awareness more than anything, and, like, really understanding, like, myself and, like, why I do things. Because when you don't understand why you're doing something, you feel, like, more weird. At least for me, you feel like more of an outsider. But when you understand, it's like you can tell someone else like, hey, I have autism. This is why I do this. Like,
This is why.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? But if you can't, you just seem like an asshole sometimes. You know? So, like, you know.
And not only have you had like a super positive attitude about it since super early, but you literally made it your brand.
Yeah.
Which is the most incredible thing to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a perfect brand. I mean, it just gets the point right across. People kind of, you know, understand where you're coming from. And then I think it makes everyone more comfortable. I think it's super dope. Just
Yeah, because
what you're
people have
doing.
questions. I feel like calling myself mini producer is like, it puts it in people's face so they can laugh about it.
Yeah.
And not feel weird. Because
Yeah.
I feel like when people see me, they're like, oh, you're short as shit. And like, how do I approach this? And it's like, yo, my name's mini producer. Like, I know I'm short. Like, let's have fun with this. You know what I mean? As long as you're not an ass towards me, I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to, you know, comments and stuff like that. At
Yeah.
least I try to be, you know.
Yeah, I mean, so you mentioned that it is obviously something that is in your face. Like, do you struggle with people like not seeing like the talent that you bring to the table first,
Yeah.
versus seeing
I
physically what they're seeing?
Yeah, I definitely feel like people don't always take me as serious.
Yeah.
I've noticed that having management is kind of my like strong point, because having, I mean, I hate to say this, it shouldn't be like this, but having able-bodied management is better, at least for a person like myself, because more times than not, I'm taken more seriously when they're having a conversation. I could have the same exact conversation, say the same exact thing to them, but if my management said that, it's like, oh yeah, whatever, no problem.
It's different.
But like, people will haggle you or not take you as serious, and you know, at least for me, I feel like I've had to prove myself like 10 times more than the average producer typically does, because like, I have credits, I got big artists on my stuff, you know what I mean? And,
Bro, and your beats slap.
hey,
The beats
thank you.
do
So
slap.
like,
Thank you.
if I was an artist, that would say enough for me.
But it sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, people, I still believe that we're in a society where we do base a lot of things on, like, how people look. I mean, it's a natural thing. Like, if you look
Yeah.
at someone, you make a lot of assumptions about, you know, how they are, and it shouldn't be like that, but it just, that's
Kind
how
of
we
is.
are. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where we're at. So, I mean, when people look at me and they're like, dang, that guy is short. Like, what kind of beats did he make? I've had people tell me, like, I didn't expect you to make beats like that. I'm like, what kind of beats did you think I was going to make? Like a Fisher Price toy, like, over there. You know what I mean? Like,
Bruh, that's ridiculous.
you know, but, like, it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I think sometimes I like to throw people off, though, because when people do meet me and they hear my stuff and they know, you know, who I work with, it does kind of change that, like, dynamic in conversation, because you're like, dang, like, this guy's done this and this, and, you know, but at times I do feel like I have to work 10 times harder just to get, like, one step ahead. You know, when I see other producers, they get, you know, you've seen it, they get one hit, it's not even that hit, and it's like, everybody wants their beats, and I'm like, how many people I gotta work
Right.
with for y'all to take me serious?
Yeah.
Right.
It is what it is.
So you end up going to college, like right outside Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think Kennesaw State, right?
Yeah.
And so
KSU.
how did music start to play a role in your college life?
Oh man, I feel like everybody's a rapper once in college. Like at least one time you can find a rapper or somebody who's trying to be a singer or something like that.
For sure.
And so it was actually really easy, because I had my dad. Shout out to my dad. He got me.
Shout
Shout out, Pops.
He got me studio monitors.
You remember which ones?
Oh, I still have. Oh no, I don't. I actually just got new ones. I take that back.
KRKs? Or?
No, they're the M Audio BX5s.
M Audio.
Yeah, so I got those. Those were my first studio monitors. I had the M track. I still have that interface, and then I had an iCai MK2 mini keyboard or whatever it's called, and you know, my software and a microphone set up. Like my dad and I went to Guitar Center. It was a great day. So I had like the whole setup, you know. And in college, that's big. Like, there's not a lot of like college students that have a setup in their dorm room. You know?
I bet you got real popular.
Oh,
It was in
yeah.
the dorm room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in
yeah.
my dorm
That's
room.
hard. I was like, bro, I was jogging my memory of like college. I was like, I didn't know anyone that was recording rappers in their dorm
Yeah.
room. Like,
Yeah, so there was only
sounded
one other
dope.
guy I knew that did that.
One
Like,
rival.
Yeah, which we were actually cool. I went over to his dorm, and like, he was cool. He makes really great beats. And so.
But you were trying to take him out on the low.
Oh no!
Stop trying to start beef in the past, Henry.
I have my own clientele, you know. No, so they would come through, and I'd have people record and like buy beats for me, and that's when it was like, oh shoot, like you can really do something with this. Like 'cause I didn't really realize you could make a career out of like producing. You know what I mean? I just thought it was something I was gonna do for fun, and then I just navigated through that whole like online space because that's when I got started doing beats, selling beats online. So yeah.
Yeah. So, what was your beat selling like strategy? And like, you know what I mean? Like, cause coming into it, I'm not sure what year it was, but like, what was going on in the beat selling like landscape? Like, was BeatStars out yet, or was it
SoundClick?
Yeah, I was everywhere. Anywhere you could sell beats on, I was like signed up. I started out on SoundCloud, like messaging a whole bunch of people, like, "Hey, I'm a mini producer, and I'd like to send you some beats." Blah blah. Like, I still have messages from like 2000 and who knows when, from like messaging artists like 6 years ago, just messaging them. So, you know, I would message them, and then once I found these platforms, I mean, I was on rapbattle.com, which was a whole nother topic, but like I was on Rap Battle. Yeah, I remember a beat like sold for $2 on there because they used to have these like flash sales, and like every beat was $2, and I sold a beat for $2, and I was like,
I made it.
I was like, yeah, let's get it.
It's gonna take a lot of $2 beats to make a living.
Beats, but I was on every platform. I was on BeatStars before they were really like popping. Like I was on Airbit. I'm still on Airbit. So I was on Trax Train. I was one of the
Trax Train
in that first group of invites and stuff like that. So I was on every platform. I feel like that you could sell, even the unpopular ones, like that you could sell beats on, because I was just so motivated to like put my beats everywhere. And so that was kind of my strategy, is just to be everywhere. And I would sell beats in person, like people would pay me in cash for beats and stuff like that. I still remember someone gave me my first $100 bill in person, and I was like, yo, this is what life is. This is what life is about.
This is it. I'm dropping out of college.
Yeah, I'm out of here, y'all. So I got my $100 bill, and on campus they have like the like ATM thing, so I like cashed it in. I was like, yeah, you know what I mean?
That had to feel good for sure.
Yeah, it was a great feeling. So I would sell beats like in person, and then also online and stuff like that. So I got to experience like that first beat sell feeling like in 2014 and stuff like that. So.
But so now that you've been selling beats for 7 years almost, right? Like what? Yeah. Don't get me started, man. These gray hairs are staring you in the face probably. What are some of your observations like about the online beat selling world? Because people feel very strongly about it, either like
it's dicey.
Oversaturated, yeah, fuck that. Or people are like, I've made so much money selling beats online. Yeah. And like, you know, you just don't know how to do it right. Like, kind of, what are your observations?
Man, let me throw YouTube type beats into that
I'm
question
gonna shake things up around here.
Let's go.
We're here for it, man. We're here for it.
So speaking of YouTube type beats, so I'll start out with that. So on YouTube, I was uploading beats. I mean, I would upload beats consistently, and I think I was doing type beats, but not artist type beats. I think it was more like a genre type, because that really hadn't become as popular with the whole like Drake type beat type thing. So I think I was like
dark piano,
dark piano R&B, like, you know, slap your mom drill beats, whatever. Like, I don't know, type beat, you know. Like,
I did see you ranking with the slap your mom type beat.
Yeah, like, he's crushing that hashtag.
Yeah, I am ranking #1. So, you know, but I was doing those type of, like, because it wasn't as popular to do like artist type beats per se. And then when that kind of moved, I guess I just navigated with that. So I think the first beat that I did was like a Drake type beat. That was one of the beats that like really did well. I mean, well for my channel at that time. And so I put like a Drake type beat, and then I would just do different type beats, like Lil Yachty type beat and stuff like that. So I kind of got into that, and it was more so because that was becoming a thing. I wish I would have been more consistent with it though when it came to uploading, because I think I really could have crushed a lot of the YouTube space had I stayed consistent, because I kind of fell off from doing YouTube, and now here we are. So that's one thing I don't want to say I regret, but I wish I would have stayed up on doing, because I was getting pretty good views for my
It's
account.
tough, man.
Yeah, so I wish I would have stayed consistent with that, because could have been a different conversation.
Bro, the YouTube consistency has been like a theme amongst people that have come on, because I mean, it's
long form. Type beats are a little easier.
Yeah.
I mean,
But, like,
easier
still-
to who?
Yeah.
I was
we've
trying to
had-
do one a week, and I lasted, a year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's better to start out early. Like, I think if I would have started in 2014 and just kept going, that's how you crush it. Like, that's how I feel like a lot of these people out here that are selling beats online, when you start early and you establish yourself, I mean, for me, that's how I feel like I've stayed so relevant, because I've been in the online space, really starting out in 2014, and I mean, 7 years later, I'm still relevant and still growing. So the online space has changed a lot. I mean, I was just telling y'all, like, the pricing, I remember people would sell beats for $100, or like, not everybody was selling $100 beats, but I mean, it was just a little more common to sell your beats for a little higher.
The
But
floor was higher.
yeah, because you had Johnny Giuliano, you had
Yes.
Vibe Hits, you had, a lot of these bigger guys on these platforms that were crushing it. I mean, and, even DJ Pain One, shout out to him.
Shout out Pain One.
Yo, he was...
Pain One. We'd love to have you on the podcast, my guy.
Sure.
Yes, he's incredible. So, these were some of the guys that I was looking up to at that time, and their price points were different, and not necessarily Pain One. I don't remember what his price point was, but I'm saying these other guys like Johnny Giuliano, Vibe, and stuff like that, Superstar O, and those guys.
Yeah.
Those were the guys that were really taking over at that time, especially on the SoundClick days. The dynamic between, like, producers and artists has changed a lot, and I feel like people say it's saturated, but I don't believe that narrative, to be honest with you. I think it's what you make it. I mean, if you can make a way to stand out, you'll find a way.
Sure.
I don't believe in the whole saturation thing, because
There are more players in the game.
there's
though.
more players in the game, for
Can't
sure.
deny that.
No, and definitely not. But I think if you are a true player, you're gonna find a way to still win. I mean, there's still,
Love that.
you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, and I feel like that's why I'm still winning in my own way, because I have, one, adapted to a lot of the changes that have happened in the online market. So, I mean, I know y'all probably heard about, like, ClickFunnels and doing,
Totally.
like, funnels. And I did that, actually. And-
Russell Brunson, right? He's like the godfather of ClickFunnels.
Yeah, so I did that last year, and it blew up. I mean, I did really well, actually really well with that. But and that was a cool thing to test out. Not doing it anymore, but I think for people that I'm seeing that have stayed in the game long enough, they learn how to adapt. And I think that people that are like, I'm not gonna do that, not try it out, whatever. I think that's where people start to fizzle out, because you're not at least willing to try. If you don't want to ever do it again, like, I don't plan on doing beat packs again, because it was cool, but, like, just not gonna be for me.
You had to try it though.
Yeah, but I tried it, and I said, okay, you see the money, but then there's things that come with that. You know what I mean? Because the price point that you're giving is a very low price point for the amount of beats that you're giving, and that also comes with a certain territory. So, but I think you have to be willing to adapt, and that's why I feel like guys like DJ Pain One has done so well, because he's learned to adapt. You know what I mean? And so that's one thing I would say for, like, younger producers, is learning to adapt and not writing everything off because you're like, oh, I'm just not going to try it. I don't know. You never know. It might be the best thing you've ever done.
So your content game is strong.
A1.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you.
A1 content.
Appreciate it.
I think that you have a really engaged, like, social media following.
Thank you.
And I'm just kind of curious, like, what's your content strategy like?
Oh, man. So I'm going to say this prior to my management, and then I'll say what I've done with my management now. So prior to my management, because, again, I've been many producer online since, like, 2016. I started my first Instagram post. Like, that's the first time I got on Instagram. Like,
Oh, wow.
So I definitely just wanted to be authentic. That was my biggest thing, and has been my theme for, like, all of the content that I do. Is really, it's just me, so I did go through different, like, stages of, like, just posting beat videos, and I was like, this doesn't really feel good to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm more than a beat video. So I stopped doing that, and then I started putting videos with my face in it, and that's when things just changed so much. And again, I think...
Were you nervous about that?
Yes, I actually wasn't. It's shocking to some people. I really wasn't actually excited about showing my face on camera like that.
Because you seem comfortable as fuck now.
Yeah,
Now he's on a podcast.
It's interesting, but I
with
mean,
4 iPhones.
yeah,
going.
Yeah.
and I mean, you even, I feel like at first maybe were, I think every artist and like producer
Yeah.
or whatever goes through that like doubt of like, man, like, am I good enough to be putting myself out there like that? So I just
Yeah.
didn't know if that was something.
Yeah.
I think it's more like a who am I? I think people are
Yeah.
afraid to like commit to who they think
like,
they
who
are.
am I? Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
when you put yourself on social media, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is the world looking at you.
Public
Yeah.
statement, like this
You
is
know,
me.
Yeah, so I think like trying to, like you said, figure out like who am I and what kind of persona or whatever am I gonna be for social media, and how much do I want to share? You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
the balance of that is like, if you share too much, then people feel like they know you so well where they're way too comfortable talking to you. And that's had to be a balance for me, which is why I appreciate having management now, because shout out to, like I said, I have two managers, Kim and Patrick. And
Shout out Kim and Patrick.
Shout out Kim and Patrick.
Shout out Kim and Patrick. Now, Kim is my business manager. Patrick's my music manager, which, like, they work together. So, really, they're just my managers. I don't like to separate titles, but, you know, whatever. So, Kim, though, her biggest thing is she really focuses on strategy. So, when she came into my life, you know, I was already doing what I was doing, creating content, skits, and stuff like that. But she really put more of a strategic thing behind it. So y'all see on my page, like, I do pictures of myself now. I was not doing pictures of myself. Like, I'm not, like, you know, model. I wasn't trying to be
Striking
model
a
of the
pose.
year. Like, hey, what's going on, y'all? But now, you know, I'm including that more into my content, and that invites, you know, brands to like, hey, we want you to wear our clothes. And I'm like, what? You want me to wear your clothes? Like, I wasn't doing that when I was doing that myself. You know, I'm getting free clothes and my, you know, and I mean, and building relationships with these brands and stuff like that. So it's interesting how even a strategy, even if you're already doing things, how you can tweak certain things and other opportunities can like come from that. So I'm still creating the same content. I'm still creating skits and doing like things like that, but there's like a strategy behind it. So I would say for artists and producers, like, really sit down and find out like, how do I want to show the world who I am? Like, what is authentic to me? Because I found that a lot of times when I watch certain content, it feels forced. Like when people try to be funny, but they're not really funny, it's like, I feel like you're trying to be funny. Like, I don't try to be funny. That my brain literally comes up with an idea. I press record and that's what you get. Like, I typically do stuff in one take.
Yes.
And that's just how it works. Like, I'm not like writing down in my notebook like, today I'm gonna do this skit and step one. Like, that doesn't work for me because it feels forced. Like, I want it to feel natural. When you watch my content, I want you to be like, okay, I can relate, or, you know, I feel like this is authentic, and it is. Like I said, I turn on my camera and, you know, that's my
Yeah.
content. So I would say for any artists and producers, just be authentic to who you are. If you're not someone who wants to show up on camera, you know, I know a lot of people say, oh, show up on camera and you got to show your face. Find a way that at least you can be unique if you're not going to show yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because that's the thing about social media, is finding a way to kind of be unique and differentiate yourself amongst a crowd of people who are trying to do the same thing as you. You know what I mean? So I think that's what's been the biggest winner for me, is being authentic, and then now having a strategy of like when I'm gonna post. And, you know, I have a calendar, y'all. I didn't have a calendar.
Content calendar?
Yeah, I have a content. The calendar really is like content and then just everything I have to do for the week. And so that's been actually really nice for me, because I know, like, hey, I'm going to do my podcast on Friday. I'm going to do, you know, this type of content for Monday and all these different things. And so, and also sticking to something. That's something Kim has really gotten into my head, is sticking to something. I'm kind of impulsive. That's part of my autistic nature. But I make really impulsive decisions. I have a hard time of, like, sticking to things. So,
like giving something a fair shot,
yes, I have a
to
really
work.
hard time. Yes, really hard time.
bro.
We've talked about
Open your fucking ears.
Yeah, I have
Because
a really
this is
hard
something
time.
we talk about, man, is that, like, dude, nothing new is going to work overnight. It just
Yeah.
literally won't happen.
I have a
so
hard
like
time with
we've
that, yeah.
we've talked about a lot of different things. I'm not going to get into like what they are necessarily, but just like if we want to give something a shot, like we got to give something a shot.
That's
Yeah.
what Kim tells me all the time.
'Cause,
I'm-
like, it's not
I'm
gonna-
very much like, yo, this week we tried it for a week. Let's do something.
Didn't work,
different.
yeah,
Let's,
didn't see
like-
immediate
yeah,
results.
it's like actually I'm feeling more like this week. It's
Yeah,
like,
like, yo.
it's like okay, like I want to, you know, allow for you to feel
How you
excited about stuff, because
Yeah.
you know, to your point, things you can read it when it's forced. So
Yeah.
even activity that's offline,
Yeah.
if it's forced, how y'all are gonna wake up every day and want to do it.
Right.
Exactly,
You're not.
yeah.
So it
Yeah.
does have to be something that you want to do, but you also need to try and give yourself like the time to let the seeds that you're freaking, planting
They gotta grow.
into some shit. You know what I mean? So you mentioned people starting to partner with you, like brands, right?
Yes.
So I think, we're not going to go through the whole list, but I think there's been a
It's
couple
long.
of,
big
it's
ones.
long.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of really cool ones in my mind. I mean, most recently you posted about a Snapchat.
Yeah.
Documentary?
Yeah, I did.
What was that?
I got to reunite with my grandparents. So I did a Snapchat documentary. They had this whole big thing about doing a Snapchat, and they reached out to me because of a hashtag. Kim, she had given me hashtags to use for my post, and I ended up asking the guy who reached out to me, he's like, hey, do you want to be a part of this, like, documentary thing? And I was like, oh, what is it about? And he's giving me the details, and I was like, by the way, like, how'd you find me? Yeah, and he was like, I found you through a hashtag. I was like, what? Like, that's wild.
Do you know what the
That's
hashtag was?
That's a gym.
No, it's a super
No,
gym.
asking people how they find you. I talk to my artists about this all the time. Ask your fucking fans how they even heard about you.
Yeah.
So you know
'Cause
what's working.
It can give you insights into things to maybe double down on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you just don't know what's working, then you're just shooting from the hip every fucking go at anything, right?
Exactly.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
By the way, James Worthy, who his manager reached out to us to get on the podcast, I asked them how they found us.
Yeah.
Take a guess. You would never guess.
I have no idea.
The Explore page.
Shout out the Explore page.
Shout out. It's wild because it just says, like, keep putting out content. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, keep putting it out. You never know. I mean, if I would have quit like a year ago, this would have never happened. So,
Right.
That's
you
crazy.
know, I'm super grateful even to work with, like, big companies like that. And, they're flying.
Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola.
was another one.
Man.
Tell us about that. Because this is the Atlanta
Yo.
soda capital of the world.
Yo, first of all, I love Coca-Cola. I literally
Coke
have-
Zero?
I have...
We'd love to have a sponsorship.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a whole bunch of Coca-Cola.
Maybe mini producer could hook us
I
up.
have a whole bunch of Coca-Cola right now at my house. Like, I drink one, like, every day.
Me too, man.
I wouldn't say it's, part of a healthy diet, but it's part of my diet. So,
Totally not, but
how that started was actually, shout out to my friend Austin. We went to college together, and he's a photographer, videographer. He might be doing directing. He's doing a lot. So, and he hit me up and he was like, hey, we have this, like, campaign that we're going to be doing for the 50th anniversary of the Hilltop commercial, and we're looking for influencers, and I thought about you, and it's not guaranteed that you're going to be picked, but like I figured I'd reach out and I'll give you more information. I said, okay, cool. I didn't think much about it because I was like, I don't know how many people they're reaching out to, I don't know who they're reaching out to, whatever. So he reaches out back to me and he's like, hey, yeah, you're going to be a part of this. And I'm like, okay, So I get the email and I'm trying to condition myself to, like, yes, you should be getting great things. And, like, these opportunities, of course they're happening to you. But I'm like, yo, I'm going to be working with Coca-Cola. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, I could not keep my cool.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, so they're like giving you they send you the email, they give you the information, so I shoot my content, and my girlfriend helped shoot a lot of my content too. My parents gave me the Coca-Cola that they've had for like years now.
Oh, in like the classic bottle?
Yeah, in a classic bottle. So
every parent in Atlanta has that.
They never
Exactly.
opened it, and so I got to use it for like So it was really a collaborative effort, which really speaks to like the support system I have. So I did that, sent in the content. Now here's the funny part, and shout out to Coca-Cola. I'm really thankful for the opportunity. I didn't find out that the commercial came out until like October. It had come out in like March.
What?
They forgot to add me to the email list.
Oh.
And so,
Some intern fucked up and forgot to put mini producer on
Were
the.
you just watching TV one day like, wait a minute?
no, so it's not on TV.
Is that me?
It wasn't on TV. They
Social?
it's like social. I reached out and I was like, hey, I just wanted to know, like, did that ever come out? And the lady
This
was
is
like,
great.
They're
oh,
like, "Bruh."
sorry, I forgot to add you to the email. It came out like months ago. And I was like, okay. She's like, oh, well, here's the where you can view the ad, and it's gonna be in the Coca-Cola like factory thing, whatever location. And I was like, okay, thanks. And so I'm like on the site, I like searching the Coca-Cola website, and I just see myself in the little like commercial thing, and I'm like, So I just been here for months and didn't
Wow.
know. But it actually worked out because it was the perfect timing because I was starting to do more anyway. So it would have been kind of probably a lost cause if I started promoting it even back then because there wasn't really much popping. So it helped that like things were moving and it just was better to talk about it then. But it is a funny story that like I got left off the email
That's
list.
hilarious.
Incredible.
So it had come out like months ago and I didn't know.
That's
Wow.
hilarious. So, you don't consider yourself like the poster child for disabilities
No.
by any means,
No,
but
no.
you have done some cool partnerships with like within this space.
Yeah.
Right? Like just tell us a couple of the things you've gotten involved with
So I did,
in the disabilities world.
I did a TikTok campaign for this game called the Pegasus Dream Tour, which was alongside the Paralympics, which is still really cool to say. So
Yeah.
it's the first official mobile game, and it features like all the characters and stuff like people that you can create have some sort of disability. So like my guy, he had
You have a character?
Yeah, he had a prosthetic leg, and
fire.
so it was dope
That is
because
fire.
I'd never seen that. You know,
Yeah,
as
I've never
someone with a disability, I didn't get to. I've never seen that, so it was cool to like play a game outside of the campaign. Like even if I wasn't getting anything for it, like it was just really cool to see that kind of representation in
Yeah.
a video game. I am getting more involved in that space,
Yeah.
and talking more about it, which is why I made that video.
Yeah.
So I think that that's been like a journey for myself to get to that point to be okay of like talking about disability in this space because I realized that there really aren't a lot of other people that look like me that are like
doing music.
yeah,
bro.
that are doing music. I mean, because obviously there's people that are doing music that have disabilities, whatever. I'm not the only one, but it's
Sure.
like it's still growing. You know what I mean? Where people respect it and they see it and they're used to it. You know what I mean? So that's been the biggest thing, I guess, for me that I've been wanting to just show more representation and get more involved in the community because I'd feel more like a hypocrite if I'm like I have this disability and I'm not acting like I don't have one. I mean, you can't act like I don't have one, but but not being involved in the community and
Yeah.
kind of just separating myself like I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
Like no, so I've really gotten more into being involved and showing representation how I can, and so. I'm doing it with different brands.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned like the online beat selling and, how you've wanted to kind of evolve to start working more directly with artists. Like, how do you balance that?
So I'm just really getting into it because like I said, I've been in the online space for so long that this is such a new thing. I mean, I know y'all probably saw I went to the studio recently, and the one time I get out of my house to go to a studio,
Metro?
meet Metro Boomin.
I was going to ask about that.
Yo, I didn't.
Which
mean to-
studio was that at?
This was at Astro.
Okay.
So, and I was like, dang, is this what can happen when I get out of my house?
Can I just meet Metro
Can I
Boomin
just
every
met-
time I go to a
I did it once and I met Metro.
Yo,
so.
I see him one
What a
time.
close ratio. This guy literally bats one time.
Yeah,
Killing it.
like, winning.
Home run, grand slam, meets Metro Boomin.
Yeah, so but in regards to kind of navigating into I guess the more industry space, it's been weird for me. I think cuz I like being online and working with artists and having people all over the world buy your beats is really dope. Like they having someone from another. I remember the first time someone bought something from Canada, and I mean I know Canada is closer than a lot of
Hey, it counts. It's still
Yeah, it counts.
international.
You know what I'm
International.
saying? But I remember someone bought a beat from Canada for me, and I was like, yo, I am in it.
Mr. Worldwide, mini
I'm out here,
producer. Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm global.
I'm global. Don't call me. New number.
Prices went up, man. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
So I was just like, man, it's a nice thing to be able to work with artists all over the world, which is why I've liked the online space.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate working with people in person too. So I think that in regards to a balance, I'm still kind of navigating that. I don't know if I'm gonna be the guy that says, a year from now, I'm not selling beats online anymore. I don't know because I don't want to make this all about money, but people got bills to pay. But
sure.
there is money
Facts.
in the online space. You know what I mean? And
it's a lot more passive to your point earlier.
It's a lot more passive. I mean, you can go
you
to
put one
sleep.
beat up.
Yeah, and you could wake up and, someone buys it. And you can sell that beat over and over and over, depending on, the license types and stuff like
Sure.
that.
Well, you land a major placement. That's passive as well. You start catching these royalties. It just takes longer, I think, to...
Yeah, but it's way more of an outbound approach.
Yeah.
Right? He's just slapping beats up on an online store and he's bringing people into his world. With the artist placements, you're having to send them the beats, or you have to be in the studio. You got to drive up to fucking Astro to meet with them.
It
just
depends.
Yeah, it's definitely pros and cons.
And I think that for the industry space, it depends on where you are too. Like if I'm Metro Boomin, I'm not selling my beats online. Because if you're at that caliber of brand, because I don't even want to say of talent, because Metro Boomin is obviously talented, but what I'm saying is brand. I think the biggest thing that a lot of these guys, the TM88, Southside, they have brand.
You can't just go get a TM88
You can't just
beat.
go, So I think if you have the brand, then those are the types of decisions you make. Okay, maybe I'm not going to sell my beats online. You know what I mean? I think it just depends on what your end goal is. You know what I mean? So if you want to sell beats online, there's things that come with selling beats online. If you want to sell just industry, I feel like there's things that come with just doing industry. But I personally, and I feel like my management's going to watch this, I would like to do both as long as I can.
So who are some of your success models, would you say?
Definitely DJ Pain 1, because I literally have watched that guy since I first started making beats.
Yeah.
And
he's doing both.
He's doing both. And honestly, I hate to say that's kind of my biggest one, but that really is my...
It's a great answer.
You don't need to...
We love Pain 1.
Yeah.
That's my biggest guy, that I watched navigate through the industry and do, get placements, but at the same time turn around and sell, beats online and do 6 figures. Or I'm not in his pockets, but I would assume by now he's doing 6 figures or more. You know what I mean? So it's really dope to see people like that who are navigating through both spaces and successful at it. You know what I mean?
So what's next for you?
Man, so a lot more getting into my influencer side of mini producer, because the production side is great, but I definitely plan on doing more brand deals and just networking with more companies and really showing that influencer side of mini producer and creating content and stuff for different brands. So that, I would say, on a high level is my biggest thing that I'm looking to do. And then a production side, I'd love to get placements with the actual artist, because it's been cool. When I have gotten placements, it's typically the independent artist buys a feature from that artist, which is still cool because the artist does have to like the beat. I'd like it to be the main artist and they have that push and that budget and the marketing strategy and it's marketed correctly so that because a lot of times what I've found is that sometimes you have these independent artists who get these major features. And that's kind of where it stops. They get the major features, but they don't know how to market it. So...
speaking our language.
Man.
Speaking our language.
So,
it's so painful to watch artists release music sometimes.
because...
I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry.
But step your fucking games up. That's part of why we're starting our label with the artist that I manage, Gabriel Averett, because it's
shout out to him. I gotta work with him.
Gabe.
I've been wanting to say that.
He's been on the wall since the release party, but
I've been wanting to say that, but I want to work with him.
Please.
So now that
Easy.
we're in person,
Easy.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I've been wanting to work with him. Okay,
That's on the record.
for
that
sure.
out there.
Oh, it's
because-
going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we have to
we're
because
working together. So.
it's one of those things. The reason why we like to be hands on with releases is because we do see so many great records that he maybe produced. And then you just see them rolled out, and you're like,
I hope they market it and hope they do it correctly.
Yo, I have a song. I'm not gonna call out the artist, but I have a song that has Young Blue on it.
Yeah.
I'm still hurt by that record.
I feel like he just called out the artist because now we could just look up the Young Blue feature.
Look at his least streams.
Yeah, but no, you actually won't even see it because the way that it was set up, it won't even show that it was Young Blue.
Young Blue's not even a primary artist on it.
No, he's not even featured on it because of how it was set up. But either way,
What?
but these
That's
are the,
just exhibit A.
these are the things that pain you because Young Blue, as y'all know, is a
Poppin'.
popping.
Yeah.
Of course.
That could have been anyway, but it is what it is.
A feature is not a strategy.
It's not
folks.
a strategy. It's not a strategy. it's really about marketing because the features are great. Like as y'all probably know, I got the song that came out with Almighty J, Wi-Fi's Funeral, and then the main artist is Buggy Blue, and they've been taking a more like active approach into like Buggy and his manager have taken a more active approach into like marketing and getting that. So that really makes me happy because I was like, come on, somebody has to get this right. Like these are big features, like you know. And it's not all about me because that's the thing. Like as a producer, I know that there are some producers out there who are counting on that one placement that's gonna take them to this level, and I don't really try to think that way. I want it to be like a holistic approach of like everybody that's involved. So if you're failing and now I'm down or I'm down and you're down, like we're all in this together. So if you market it and it's not marketed correctly, that hurts everybody that's involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's really what pains me. It's not because Mini Producer, doesn't get the spotlight. I'm gonna get the spotlight regardless because I know how to carry my brand with or without that record. But it just hurts me more for them.
It's almost for the love of the music.
Yeah,
you're like,
dang.
fuck, more people need to hear this.
Yeah,
this beat and this song. Not even this beat. This song.
So it's a.
Have you thought about being more involved in the rollout side of things? Has that ever been like a?
You know what? I have been in a position where I've been super involved, and it's a catch-22 because some people will take advantage of that because you are involved and you do want to help. And then, at times, either people don't want to listen to you. And then when you're right, it's like, I'm right. Yeah, I know what I was talking about. I mean, I remember the first time I was really heavily involved with an artist and our song got like 20,000 streams in like a short amount of time, and I was so proud of it because I was super involved. But it also was a little bit exhausting because you get people that get involved into maybe that artist's career, so maybe they get management, and now all the stuff that you did. Like, hey, I got you here, what I mean? And then you get management like, I can't listen to you anymore. It's like, oh, okay, So it does...
People in their ear.
It gets tiring, at a certain point.
It's exhausting.
So it's like you have to find that artist, and thankfully I'm really grateful for the artists that I do work with, that... not listen to everything I say as like the gospel, but
they're
at
open.
least, they're open to like, hey... this is what I would do if I were you, and when you see people actually take that advice and it works for them, that makes me happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think more artists should just be ready to, because I'll hear artists be like, I'm not going to release a song or drop 100 comments. Like, yo, you might not get 100 comments. Like, I'm just be real.
You have to delete that post.
Is your engagement high enough to get 100 comments? Keep it real. Like, and just put out the music. And I know that's probably an unpopular opinion, but I think when you're just starting out, you don't really have room to be super, like,
perfectionist.
Like, oh man, I'm not gonna put the song on until I get 50 comments. Like, you can't get 5. Like, you drop the first 5 comments.
I just love it love it when artists think that like when they do a bunch of pre-release hype, it kills me. No one's waiting for you to drop the song. Yeah. No one gives a flying fuck
they don't.
that your song's coming out in a month.
They really don't.
I'm sorry.
I hate to put it to you like that, but yes.
It just kills me to see pre-release.
Just put the
content
music out, bro.
and then push it.
Yeah,
and then push it.
They need a place to go because you're only gonna get one shot sometimes, maybe 2, for them to be like, okay, that was cool. Where can I go consume this thing?
Yes.
They're not going to listen to you post about it for a month straight, and then once it's finally out, they're not going to be like, yes, I'm so fucking excited that this song is finally out by this artist that has less than 1,000 monthly listeners. Like, I don't know, man.
Yo, and stop, for the love of everything that's good, stop buying your streams, stop buying your likes, the followers, all of it.
Oh, it's the worst.
Stop it.
It's the worst.
It's disgusting. Every time I look on someone's page and I see they have 100K followers and they're verified, and then
they have 2 comments.
And they got 2 comments, or like they got, like 1,000 likes, and all of them are from like places that I've never heard of, and they got 2 followers on each account. I'm like, who are you fooling?
Yeah.
It's literally making it harder. It makes it harder to find real fans.
So it's like, yo, if you have 1,000 real followers, yo, embrace that. And I can say it for myself. When I first started growing my following, I didn't buy likes or anything, but I did like the follow strategy, which really was not really a strategy, but you know, that's what I started out with, and it can really hurt your account in the long term.
Yeah.
You know, and so
100%.
people, I think the thing is though, we're in such a social media type of world that sometimes it's hard not to get caught up in like, well, I don't have this many likes, or I don't have this many,
metrics
you
game.
know, the metrics game. So I think once you get away from that, and I've had to do that for myself, because I do get to that point like I don't have 1,000 likes per post, and I shouldn't because of my percentage and all these things. It's easy to get caught up in that, but just focus on being authentic and putting out the content. Just be real. Just be a real person, and it's gonna end up. If you're good and you got the marketing behind it, something's gonna come to you. Like. You'll be all right.
Well, mini producer, you know what's about to come to you, right?
Right.
You're about to be on the Rapid Fire Rampage with the One More Time podcast.
Oh man, everyone's favorite segment.
Let's get
It's
it.
most people's, I'd say. Yeah, most people's favorite.
I'm going with everyone because it's my segment.
Buckle up, my friend.
So this is the Rapid Fire Rampage.
Okay.
It's going to be in 3 parts.
Okay.
And hit you with some short answer questions. We're going to do some this or that's. I'll give you 2 choices and then a word association.
All right.
Give you 1 word, spit back whatever right back at me. So, are you buckled up? Are you ready for this rampage?
I don't know, but we're gonna get it right.
Okay.
We're gonna do it.
Episode 34, mini producer, starting with the short answers. What % of your life is work? What's your ratio? 50-50, 70-30 kind of guy?
I'd say like 40-60.
40% work?
Yeah.
That's a lot of play.
Hey,
Decent
man.
amount of play. You gotta sleep.
I've learned to live a little, because
Good.
just a quick thing.
Sure.
I had a surgery not too long ago, and I almost died. And after that experience,
So casual about that, by the way.
Like,
I almost died. But anyways,
yeah, like I almost died, and that really taught me about living a little more, because if you
Totally.
would have asked me that before, it definitely wasn't 50-50. It was probably like 80% work, 20% like,
Yeah,
okay.
you know, fun. So that's why my perspective has definitely changed. But if you would have asked me before that, I would have told you I'm working all day and not doing
Okay.
anything. So that's why it's changed.
Damn.
So,
Great
there
answer.
you go.
yeah.
You have to get rid of 3 states. What do you get rid of?
I don't know, man.
We're starting beef with some states right now.
I don't know.
Better pick 3 states to get rid of.
Yo, I'm sorry.
He loves all 50.
Yo, we'll take away Florida.
All right, okay. Just Florida.
We'll take away Florida.
Just Florida. I love it. It's a great answer.
That's like, it would actually been less offensive if he gave 2 more to get rid of. Florida, it's like, no, you're the only one I want to get rid of.
Just Florida.
You're the only one's gotta go.
Don't need it.
God.
If you could speak to one animal, what would you choose?
Oh man. Yo, I want to speak to birds. I know that's like really random, but they're up in the sky. I
could,
want to
like,
know what
relay
they're
messages
seeing.
really
Yeah, I want to
fast.
know what they're seeing. I'm like, yo, what are you seeing up there? Like,
That's a fair.
It's actually a really good one.
yeah,
fair
I want to
point.
know what y'all seeing. So
Okay, okay.
I talked to some birds.
Joe Biden exiles you from America
I'm sorry.
for undisclosed reasons.
Okay, got you.
Where do you go live?
From America, yo, I'm gonna live on some kind of island. I'm gonna make it fire, and I'm gonna make some beats.
You're gonna find your own
I'm
island.
gonna find my own island.
Mini producer island.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
Sounds like a really fun place.
Yeah.
You're hosting a dinner party and you can
Okay.
invite any 3 people, alive or dead. Who do you invite?
I'm inviting Kaylani because I want to work with her. So Kevin Gates, I gotta have a song with him, and I'm gonna invite Drake because if I have Drake,
He's trying to catch placements, bro, at this dinner.
yo,
Love
if
it.
I'm having Drake at my party, it won't matter what they're there for. I'm having.
He's gonna be playing beats before the appetizers
I'll
come
be
out.
like, yo, this is my party. No.
Bro, that is funny, man.
Great answer. Okay. If we plugged you into the Matrix and you could learn any one skill instantly, what would you learn?
I wish I could like just know any language like naturally. Like if I could be fluent in any language, that'd be pretty dope.
Just anywhere
speak
you
every
went.
language.
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere I went, I'd just be able to
Go to
like,
Russia, no
speak the
problem.
language.
Speak
yeah,
Russian.
Yeah,
Petrovsky.
That would be dope. Like I'd like to be
That
able
would
to be fluent, so that'd be nice.
For sure.
Good one. What advice would you give 13-year-old you?
Ooh, man, that's a good one. 13-year-old me. I would say keep going. Because, like, things are going to seem tough, and it's going to be like, what? How the fuck am I going to get out of here with this shit? But, you know, just keep going. Like, things are going to get better.
Gets better. How many jelly beans would fit in a hot tub?
Yo, I'm going to say, like, I'm going to just say, like, hot tub. Oh, those are kind of smaller, I guess, right? Okay. Well,
No, not a full pool here.
but it's kind of, but hot tubs are kind of deep.
They are.
too.
At the
So-
depth.
He's doing the
Yeah, the calculation.
the math.
I love it.
Yo, what? If, maybe like 40,000. I'm gonna put like 40,000 jelly beans in there.
And then go for
Go
for a towel.
I don't know. I think that would only get to like your feet, bro. I don't know.
Yo, well, see, I'm short, so maybe that's not helpful.
He's
You know what I
thinking
mean?
of a, you
I'm
know.
thinking of the kiddie pool. You know what I'm saying?
He's thinking of a mini hot tub.
Mini hot tub.
Mini hot
You know
tub.
what I'm saying?
Okay, now I get it. Now I get it.
I'm thinking of the sink at home. You know what I mean? Like-
Nice.
Run some hot water in
yeah,
that
exactly.
thing.
Like, that's my hot tub.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Ben as an interviewer?
Oh man, 10 out of 10. Recommend.
Way too high. Way too high.
I love that. I'm gonna save that one for the archives.
Way too fast of an answer too. Like that was your fastest answer.
He didn't even think.
Not even-
It was just perfect interviewer.
Yo, I loved it. No, for real.
How do you want people to remember you?
Oh man. I just hope that people remember me as someone that was just being themselves and created a positive impact on the world.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Part 1 of the Rampage.
Part 1, Henry. How do you think he's doing?
Pretty good. I would say slightly above average so far. We got a couple snags.
Yeah.
Did he lose points for giving me points?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh
Okay.
man, yeah. And probably
Sorry,
St.
man.
Florida, you know what I mean?
No, it's plus points.
We thought that was hilarious.
That was your best answer. That was hilarious. Okay. Moving on to the This or That, episode 34 with Mini Producer. I'm going to give you two choices,
All right.
whichever one sticks out to you.
Yeah, that's good.
Here we go. Snares or claps?
I use claps a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a clap man
I
myself.
love claps.
Clap, man. Silly hats or silly socks?
Ooh, I have a texture thing, so I'd probably wear a silly hat.
Netflix or YouTube?
I like YouTube. I can find anything on YouTube. Netflix is like very specific for me, like shows, but YouTube,
Anything.
anything.
And then we might have gotten the answer to this in the interview, but I want to make sure. Sending out packs or being in the studio?
I'd actually want to be in the studio if it was like my ideal, I'd be in the studio. Right now, I send out packs, but I want to be in the studio with people.
FaceTime or voice message?
It depends on who the person is. So I'd probably say voice message because a lot of times I don't want to FaceTime with people.
Right. Battling against one bear-sized chihuahua or 25 chihuahua-sized bears?
That's a good one.
Yo, I'm short as fuck, so it's gonna be terrible either way. Yo. I don't want to do nothing with bears. I don't care if they're small or not. They're probably gonna be the same size as me. So, let's just go with the
Bear-sized chihuahua?
Yeah, let's go with that. At least it's one thing. You know?
Yeah, we can focus on one thing.
Yeah.
And hope that it has the personality of that chihuahua size chihuahua.
Yeah.
France or Japan?
Ooh. Yo, Japan is actually like very innovative. I feel like in regards to my cousin knows Japanese, so I feel like for him I'll pick Japan.
Shout out, cuz.
Yeah.
Software or hardware?
Ooh. Shoot, it's easier for me to use software, but I do like hardware. But I would probably pick software just out of
Good.
convenience for me.
Breakfast or dessert?
I love dessert. I'm picking it every time.
Song placement or sync placement?
Ooh, definitely. I feel like sync placements are slept on. Man.
Slept.
Like I have a sync placement that I got with another producer that I collaborate with, and we got it for Total Divas, and you still get paid off of that. So sync placements can be really great.
I knew you'd be the
Keep
perfect one.
collecting. Yeah,
So sync placements.
yeah, sync placements.
Big gem.
Marvel wants you in their next movie.
Oh, okay.
Do you play the hero or the villain?
Oh, I'm playing the hero.
Producing early AM or late at night?
Late at night.
Money or fame?
I want the money. I mean, if you don't know me and I still got money, shoot, I still got money.
Part 2 of the Rampage.
Part 2. What a great way to wrap that part up.
That was an improvement.
That's big facts.
That was better. That was better than part 1. It's all going to come down to part 3 to see where Mini Producer lands in the Rapid Fire Rampage Hall of Fame.
All right.
This is the word association.
Okay.
Shoot one word at you. You shoot one right back at me. First thing off the top of your head.
Okay.
There are no wrong answers.
All right.
Here we go.
Well,
sometimes.
Sometimes it's wrong.
Well,
We'll be the judge of that.
pizza.
Pockets. Pizza pockets. I don't know.
What are those?
Hot pockets.
Like a hot pocket, yeah.
Yeah, like
I know.
the-
Just never heard of them called pizza
He
pockets.
prefers his pizza in pocket form.
Yeah. I'm already starting off great.
It's amazing. Omnisphere.
I don't have it. But I know that's not one word. Wait.
That's
No,
fine.
that's it. No, it doesn't have to be one word.
It could be one concept.
Yeah.
We're very lenient on the rules here.
We are. That works. Don't have it. Jupiter.
Planet.
It is a planet,
It's pretty
technically.
basic, I know. But planet.
Anxiety.
Ooh, depression, because I have both.
OnlyFans.
Get your money.
That was an incredible answer. Facts. 808.
Mafia? No, I had to say that. Okay.
That works.
Yeah, I'm going to say mafia because that's just.
Hell yeah.
Had to.
Atlanta shit. Police.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
I would just say, ooh, can I just be my response?
Yeah. Ooh.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that works.
I don't know how to respond to that one either way. So
You
I'm
did.
gonna say, ooh.
You did. Social media.
I'm going to say clout.
Clout.
Yeah.
Lil.
Lil, like Lil?
Yeah.
Oh. I would say Lil Wayne. I
Good.
don't know.
Good answer. Any other answer is not acceptable.
Yes.
That was the only correct answer to that one. Garbage.
Ooh, liars.
Mm.
People that are liars are garbage.
Agreed.
Fair enough.
Piano.
My favorite instrument.
Broccoli.
With cheese.
Made a terrible thing awesome.
Yeah.
Microphone.
Important.
Politics.
That's my response.
No comment.
No comment. Like,
Mini.
producer.
Let's get it. Part 3,
Part 3 of the Rampage.
pretty solid.
Very good.
Yeah.
Brought it home.
Well done, man.
It was a solid Rampage.
Now, this was an honor. Really appreciate you coming on the show.
No, it's just nice.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are going to learn a lot of important lessons and a really
hope so.
great perspective. Coming from someone who has not thrown themselves a pity party. With the challenges that you've faced over the years. You do it with a smile on your face. You have an infectious, positive attitude, which is half the battle in this shit, man. People want to work with people that are gonna be pleasant to work with, and obviously that are super dope as well. So can't wait to see what you do in 2022, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, y'all.
This has been a big year for you already in 2021, I know.
Yes,
So, sky's the limit for you, man. Once again, appreciate you coming on. Until next week, Henry, what are we doing?
We out.
We getting the fuck out.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Hop up in a foreign skirt, no. All the homie, this shit tripping, no. Middle finger to the law.